All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. You know we love to get into the nitty-gritty of all things crypto,
Absolutely.
and especially Ethereum.
Yeah.
So today we are diving into this article. Ethereum's breakout could push price to $15,000 by 2025.
Okay.
That's quite a prediction, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
$15,000 Ethereum by 2025.
Favorite?
Are we getting ahead of ourselves here?
Well, it's definitely an attention-grabbing headline for sure,
Yeah.
but there's actually quite a bit to unpack
Okay.
to understand where this prediction is coming from.
Okay, so let's start with what we've been seeing in the market recently.
Yeah, so Ethereum has been making some serious moves.
Yeah.
It just broke past that $4,000 resistance level.
Okay, yeah, so explain. What does that mean?
Like, what's the significance?
What is a resistance level?
Right, so basically a resistance level is a price point where historically there's been a lot of selling pressure.
Okay.
So you know people who bought Ethereum lower, they see the price approaching this level and they're like, okay, I'm going to take some profits.
Right.
And then you also have other traders who are maybe a little hesitant to buy in because they're worried the price might drop again.
Right.
So it creates this kind of like a psychological barrier.
Interesting. Okay, so
In the heartbeat.
when Ethereum breaks through that resistance level,
Yes.
like it just did, it's like a signal.
It's a signal that that sentiment is changing, that maybe the sellers are losing their grip and the buyers are starting to take control.
Right.
And then you get that FOMO kicking in.
Yeah, the fear of missing out.
Exactly. Everyone wants to jump on board before the price goes even higher.
Right, so this $4,000 breakout, it's kind of a big deal.
It's a pretty big deal.
It's not just a random price jump.
No, it suggests a potential shift in the market.
All right, so let's get to this juicy prediction.
Okay.
$15,937 by May 2025.
Almost $16,000.
I mean, that's a pretty specific number.
Right.
Where's that coming from?
So this prediction is coming from an anonymous analyst.
Anonymous, okay.
Yeah, they're kind of like a crypto whisperer. But they've got a pretty impressive track record.
Okay.
And they're basing this prediction on something called an ascending triangle formation.
Ascending triangle.
Yeah, it's a chart pattern.
Yeah.
That they're seeing in Ethereum's price history.
Okay, so like a technical indicator.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that a similar pattern emerged back in 2016 and 2017.
Oh, okay.
Right before Ethereum went on that massive bull run.
So history could be repeating itself.
It's like history might be rhyming.
Rhyming. Okay. But of course, this analyst, they're not saying this is a guaranteed outcome.
All predictions in crypto are ever guarantees.
Right. But there's a condition.
Yes, there's a key condition for this bullish scenario to play out.
And that is?
Ethereum needs to close its weekly candle above $3,800.
Okay, so explain. The whole candle thing.
Right. So in technical analysis, we look at these candlesticks on the charts, and they represent price movements over a specific period.
Okay.
So a weekly candle shows us the price action for the entire week. And the way it closes, whether it's higher or lower than it opened, tells us a lot about the strength of the buyers or sellers.
So if Ethereum closes its weekly candle above $3,800.
That's a strong sign that the buyers are in control.
Got it.
And it validates the breakout.
So it's like,
Passing a test.
yeah, like a weekly report card
Yeah, okay.
for the bulls.
All right, so we've got the breakout. We've got this bullish prediction based on historical patterns, but there's more, right?
There are other indicators pointing in the same direction.
Like what?
Well, the article mentions an independent crypto trader, goes by the name Honey,
Honey, okay.
and they observed something called a golden cross.
Golden cross, I've heard that term. What is that again?
So a golden cross is a technical chart pattern
Okay.
where a short-term moving average crosses above a long-term moving average.
Okay.
And historically, this has been seen as a bullish signal.
So why is that bullish?
Well, think of it this way. You've got two groups of traders.
Okay.
The short-term folks who are reacting quickly to price changes.
And then the long-term folks who are more focused on the bigger picture.
Right.
When the short-term average crosses above the long-term average, it suggests that even those more cautious long-term traders are starting to see the potential for an upward trend.
So it's like a buy signal from the like wise old owls of the market.
Exactly.
All right. But let's move on to the real big players here.
Okay.
The institutional investors.
Yeah.
We've been seeing a lot of news.
Yeah.
But institutional money flowing into Ethereum.
There have been massive inflows into Ethereum spot ETFs.
Specifically, how much are we talking?
Well, over $1.3 billion
Wow.
since November 18th.
Okay.
And one of the most notable developments is BlackRock,
BlackRock, okay.
the world's largest asset
Oh,
manager.
big one, yeah.
They just pumped another $500 million
Wow.
into their iShares Ethereum trust.
Okay, so why is this institutional investment so significant?
Well, you have to think about it from a market psychology perspective.
Right.
When you have these big players like BlackRock entering the space, it brings a certain level of legitimacy. It's like a stamp of approval.
Okay.
And it gives other institutions and even retail investors more confidence to follow suit.
So it's not just about the money,
It's not just about the money.
it's about the pocket.
To credibility.
That's it bring. And it also brings increased liquidity to the market,
Okay.
which can help with price stability
Right.
and reduce volatility.
All right. So we've got all these positive signs from the market itself.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what's happening on the ground, so to speak, in the Ethereum ecosystem.
Let's dive into DeFi.
DeFi, decentralized finance.
This is where things get really interesting
Okay.
because we're seeing a surge in DeFi activity on the Ethereum blockchain.
Like, how are we measuring that?
So one key metric is total value locked, or TVL,
TVL, okay.
which basically represents the total amount of assets
Uh-huh.
that are being used in DeFi applications. And this has just hit a new yearly high.
Of $77 billion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just to clarify for those who may not be as familiar,
Sure.
what exactly is DeFi?
DeFi is all about creating a more open and accessible financial system.
Okay.
It's about using blockchain technology to build financial applications that don't rely on intermediaries.
Like banks.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you can do things like lend, borrow, trade, earn interest, all without going through a traditional bank.
Right.
And Ethereum is the leading platform for building these DeFi applications.
Okay.
So as DeFi grows, the demand for Ethereum grows with it.
Because Ethereum is the underlying technology.
It's the foundation.
All right, so to kind of bring all this together,
Yeah.
we've got this price breakout, we've got this bullish prediction, we've got the technical indicators, the institutional investors jumping in,
Yeah.
the DeFi ecosystem thriving. Is $15,000 Ethereum really a possibility?
Well, predicting the future of crypto is always a gamble,
Right.
but the evidence we're seeing does paint a pretty compelling picture.
For Ethereum's long-term growth,
Yep.
$15,000 might sound ambitious to some.
It's definitely a bold prediction, but given the accelerating pace of adoption and innovation, it's not outside the realm of possibility.
So it's an exciting time to be following Ethereum.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up today's deep dive, we want to leave you with this question. What does all this mean for you as an investor or someone who's just interested? In the crypto space,
Right.
do you see Ethereum's potential? Or are there red flags that we haven't discussed?
Well, and here's another thing to consider. What are the broader implications of Ethereum's rise if it really does become the foundation of a new financial system?
Right.
How will that impact traditional financial institutions, governments, even individuals?
Wow, those are some big questions.
Big questions.
So we've given you the information, the insights. Now it's up to you to connect the dots
No,
and draw your own conclusions.
exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Ethereum. We'll see you next time.